Hey everybody. Okay, so this video is for Kat, and Kat, this is on the sorry. This is on the reading that you had done. I don't know if you can hear me cuz I'm talking pretty low. My head hurts and my throat is sore. But I got the reading done early and I thought I'd just give it to you. I'm sorry guys. Let's see, that's not it. Here it is. So, as you know, I do my readings in 3 parts, but the 3 part readings are more for lovers. For a normal person's reading, I just do a 2 part reading, and the 2 parts is consist of an astrology reading. I've exchanged my Chinese astrology out for this particular reading. I'm doing ancient Egyptian reading, an ancient Egyptian astrology reading. And the way you interpret ancient Egyptian signs is that the ancient Egyptians, the deities were their signs, so you're born under a particular god or goddess. And I did a playing card reading for you. So we're going to start with the ancient Egyptian reading first. And I just thought I'd tell you what I found out from the reading. So you were born under 3 different deities: Osiris, Kununis, and Neith. Osiris, ruler of the dead. Osiris is the ruler of the afterworld, of the underworld or of the netherworld. He's the ruler of dead. Kununis is also a god of the dead. He was referred as the Ba of Ra, which means soul or spirit of Ra. He is the god of prosperity, water. He is the god of he's seen as a god of pottery. He's very good with his hands in making pots. Neith is a mother goddess of war. She is the goddess of weaving. She is the goddess of politics. She is the goddess of battle strategies. She is the goddess of war. Her sign is the Kepra, the Kepru, or the Scarab, as we would know it. She is seen as the creator mother of the unseen god Amun-Ra, or Amun, as he was later formed into Amun-Ra. So what I get from the first 2 deities is that you have a very strong connection to the dead, and that's obvious with your gifts and everything. But Neith is actually a very strange deity to have. She's much like Sekhmet in the way that she's like very protecting of her children, and she's very caring of people that are close to her. She's a hunter deity. I don't know if I told you that, and that also connects back to, Kununis and prosperity. She's very good at like bringing home the bacon. Literally, she's very good at hunting stuff, and what that tells me is that you're very good at taking care of business and personal things. She's the goddess of motherhood, which I like already explained. You're a very good mother. Battle strategies, which tells me that you're very, you're very good at planning things. Now, here's what some people get confused about battle strategies. Battle strategies does not mean that you know how to execute the strategies. It just means that you're very good at battle strategies, at forming the plan. You're not very good at executing it. So, is it possible to be very good at strategizing something but not being able to execute it correctly? Yes, that is very possible. She's the goddess of wisdom, which makes you very wise, and we know that you're very wise. Now, some things about Kununis and Neith is that they both have the ability to create things, and in their myths, they're actually known to create things from, Neith is known for create things through weavings, and Kununis is known to create things from pottery. So what I would suggest to you is try to take up a hobby in one of these 2 things. So like knitting, weaving. If you do one of these already, if you focus your intent into this, if you focus your intent into one of these, you can actually do magic through the making of the pot, or through the making of the pot, or whatever you're knitting. So try taking up knitting or a pastime. Now we're going to get to the card reading section, and I would also like you to, if you would like to know more, please send me an email. I would just like you to know the astrology. This is just a rough sketch of what I could get for you. Um, I did a reading for Nadia. Nadia was born under several different deities, and that's because I had her full chart that I could give her the full information. But I was only able to give you 3 informations because I only had your basic birthday, and so I only had your basic birthday, month, day, year. So I would need a full chart, and if you have one of those set aside, I'd greatly appreciate it. You sent it to me, I'd redo the reading, I'd give you more information. So let's start in on your card half of your reading. I'm sorry, that's my familiar Leo. That's familiar. I love him so much. So we're gonna start with your card reading now. So the first card to come up was the Queen of Diamonds, and I only do a 5-card reading. I've explained this to you in other videos. The Queen of Diamonds in the center, which means that the Queen of Diamonds is the focus of this. Was the focus of this reading, and what that tells me is that you're not the Queen of Diamonds. I did another reading for you, and the Queen of Diamonds isn't your card. Hold on. You are the Queen of Spades. The Queen of Diamonds is someone that you know or someone that you're doing work for. But it's a woman who's very pretty and having problems with a person in her life who is the Jack of Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is a relative that, may be untrustworthy. Now, the reason that they're having problems is because that the Queen of Hearts, this very pretty woman who's very kind and very loving to her relative who is untrustworthy, feels like her relative or family member or whatever is being very dishonest, due to dishonesty in the relationship. In this relationship is. Now these troubles are going outside of her work and affecting, other parts of her life. And just as long as I'm doing the video and I have my cards here, I think I might just draw a couple more cards and see what that tells me on information on top of this, because I feel like I'd left you sort of open-ended there, because you probably have lots of people that come to you that have trust issues with a person that's dishonest and not trustworthy. So I'm going to draw 3 more cards to elaborate, and once I feel like I've given you enough information, I will stop the video. I will indicate my stopping by saying, I guess I'll just say, I think that's all you need to know. So let's keep going. So the troubles between these 2 relatives is affecting money, is affecting the money and health of a person. The only way for these relatives to really settle this argument, this issue that they're having, is for them to part ways, cut ties, and no longer see each other as friends, associates, or neighbors. One of them, most likely the person that you're working for, has to be the one to do this. So I'm going to draw 3 more cards just to see if I could get a bit more information about this person. Cards, could you please connect with me? Cards, I ask you to connect with my spirits. Cards, I ask you for blessings. Thoughts, allow me to read the cards correctly. Just a little prayer that I say over the cards. Now, when I read cards, I like to think that each card has a spirit of its own. And when I say spirit of its own, I don't mean an actual spirit. I mean a spirit in the sense that the card gives off an emotion. So see here I have the Jack of Spades, and The Jack of Spades is a. I'm sorry, I have to refer to my book. I don't know all the meanings because there are 52 cards in the deck. The Jack of Spades is a well-meaning person, which tells me that this may very well be you trying to interfere in this relationship. No, this may very well be somebody else trying to interfere in this relationship. Someone else besides you. Um, mm, yeah, someone else besides you. Um, Three of Spades. Now, what this tells me is that the Jack of Spades. Now, the next card after the Jack of Spades is the Three of Spades, and what that tells me is that the person is unfaithful, and what that tells me is that they're playing both sides of the field, so they're not interfering. They're not interfering with your workings, but they're interfering more in the relationship. What they're doing is they're telling each person, they're talking to each person, and they're delivering messages back and forth between the two people. The next card is the Six of Hearts. And the Six of Hearts is problems in second relationships. And so what that tells me is that the people having the disagreement find out that the person in the middle is delivering messages, if that makes sense. Um, So they find out that the third party person is delivering messages out between both of them and, telling them lies and exaggerating stories. And so they sort of just realize that this causes more issues between them, and now it's a triangle of hatred. And what I just feel the need to tell you, and I don't know why, but I feel the need to tell you to not get caught up in the cycle of being used by these people. And when I say used, I mean don't let these people come to you for work and work over and over again, because I feel like the more that you get integrated into their hexing and their cursing and their throwing shade and evil at each other, the more that it's going to weigh on your health. And this is just how I feel. I don't know why. I just feel like don't get caught in the triangle of hatred, because what I've known is that a triangle is much like a triangle can't stand without the third side. It collapses. So if you can find a way to end the hatred towards each other, do it, but don't get caught in it. Don't let the person you're working for keep coming to you telling you that it's not working or it's not happening or they're doing more stuff. Don't let them allow them back into you. Allow them back into your life. I'm gonna draw two more cards because I've started a second row, and so I always like to finish the second row. So I see the Queen of Clubs, right? I see the Queen of Clubs, and she's in her positive form. And I'll have to talk about that in a later video. But if you have questions about that, just email me, and I'll tell you what I mean when I say positive form. She's the Queen of Clubs. Sorry. Okay, so she's an attractive, self-confident woman. And I see the card Three of Hearts in the card Eight of Hearts in its negative form, and the Eight of Hearts is surprises and new gifts. Okay, sorry, it's in its negative form. Problems at work, and so what I see is that this is another person coming into you, and she's having problems at work. But what I see, it's about a man. And what I'm going to tell you now is that I saw your post on Facebook. What I can tell you is that you won't be get out of doing love spells soon, especially if the energy between these two cards is what I think it is. Because as I know from doing the card astrology readings, and that's the last reading that you got from me last time, I do card readings telling personality traits. These two cards are opposite attract cards, moon and sun cards, and they attract each other. Um, what's the next? But he is in his negative form, which means that he is the opposite of what he should be. And the King of Hearts should be a stubborn, influential man uh, who is very, very generous. Now, what that means is that he's not. He's very what? He's very. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, he's not. The idea of a King of Hearts is supposed to be that he's stern when he needs to be, but caring when he stern and caring when he needs to be. He's stern when he needs to be stern. He's caring when he needs to be caring. But the thing about this man in his negative form, the thing about the King of Hearts in his negative form is that he's not. He's stern when he needs to be caring, and he's caring when he needs to be stern. So what I'm telling you now is that if you do realize who this Queen of Clubs is, because she's going to come to you, you tell her that I can't do the work. I think that's all. So that's all. So bye, bye. Say bye, Leo. He doesn't want to say bye.